Hi, it's Colin Coward. I started The Volume to bring you some of the most authentic voices in sports. While you're here, make sure you hit subscribe. Thanks.
What I told everybody was, on our team, it was KD team. Like, USA team, it was KD team, as it should have been. He was the one with the most experience, KD. But it felt like to me, and I want to hear your thoughts. It felt like to me you were being primed for it to be your team this next go around. And maybe KD come back, maybe KD don't. But I felt like he was priming you, like, "Hey JT, go give me a bucket, man. Hey, it's your turn. Come on now, go give me some buckets." And hearing the conversation, but also seeing how everyone else on our team, when it wasn't KD, everybody was turning to you. And you had games where you took over. So I like, how are you? Did you feel that? Are you seeing that? Is that the goal? Like, what is your goals moving forward with USA?
Yeah, no, I think you spot on. I think that played a huge part in my decision. I think I remember you calling me in the summertime and like telling me like, bro, I remember I'll never forget. You said, bro, forget all this stuff about rest. Like, we can rest when we retire. And I done it like, yeah, bro, I'm only 23, 24. Like, I got the rest of my life after basketball to rest and do whatever I want. And like, this is, nothing is promised. Like, this is a special opportunity. So after talking to you, and then the next thing was like, well, shit, K on the team. And I think for me, like, I remember being 15 years old and going to K camp in DC and like how excited I was to be there. And fast forward, playing against him in the playoffs last year. And then now being on the same team as him and like getting to see how somebody that like I looked up to at one point, like how he go about his routine, how he worked, how he, just think and see the game, on a personal level. Like, we're going to be on the same team. That was, for me, it was like, all right, yeah, I'm going. And I remember being out there in Vegas and like, I remember the first day we scrimmaged and I remember we played the select team and they kicked our ass the first day. We was out of shape. we was out of shape. We wasn't used to playing with each other. But I remember specifically coming down on the wing, somebody kicked me the ball and on the Celtics, I would have shot it. And it was like a halfway, like I could have shot it. And I just remember K was to the next, it was to the right of me and I passed it to him. And I remember he got mad at me. He was like, yo, don't look for me. Like, he was like, be yourself. I need you to kill. And I was like, damn. Like, that was the first time I was like, no, like, he want me to hoop too. Like, don't look at it like, that's Katie. Like, no, we're on the same team. Like, he need me to do me on this team.
Absolutely.
And no, like, I mean, you right. Like, it definitely started to feel like that. Like, obviously we all knew it was his team, but just somebody like that in the middle of a game, he come down the court, he telling me to post up to give me the ball to go score, was like, all right, like, yeah, I'm working towards getting to that level. Like, I'm earning the respect of somebody like that. And ultimately, like, that was obviously us winning it, but like, that was one of my favorite parts of, being on the team. Just kind of like that moment, if if that makes sense.
No, absolutely. And I actually remember the exact moment that you're talking about when you swung the ball to him. You're like, hey man, come on now. I remember that exact moment, but I thought it was great because, like I said, the reality is like it's on you to carry USA for at least the next 2 cycles. Like that's your thing moving forward. And like I said, even if KD come back on the next cycle for Paris, that's almost him just like coming to pass the baton. Like, yeah, I still got it and I'm still cold and I love to hoop,
right.
But like I'm really coming to pass the baton. And so I think like that should be your mindset. And what also should be your mindset is, regardless of whatever happens this summer, or this season, this playoffs, you should be dedicated to having the absolute best summer of your life. And you already work, but there's more to be done because your only goal next year, going into next year, should be like, no, I'm 100% going to be the MVP of the NBA next year. You should be the MVP of the NBA next year.